Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read the S5 5068 Junie B. Jones, first grader. Chapter 1, First Grade Surprises, Thursday. Dear First Grade Journal. Yesterday was the first day of school. It's new here. Today my teacher handed out these journals. He's making us write in these dumb things. Only I don't even know what to write. My teacher has muscles and mustache. His name is Mr. Scary. He made that name up, I believe. I'm not even scared of him hardly. From Junie B, first grader. I put down my pencil and I looked at what I wrote. I did a sigh. I would like to go home now. I said to just myself, she said a girl named May. I'm still trying to do my work. May sits next to me in the back of the room. I don't actually care for that girl, just that my teacher stood up at his desk. His mustache smiled real friendly. Okay, boys and girls, you can stop writing now. As I told you earlier, we will be working in our journals quite often this year. In fact, it won't be long until your journal starts feeling like an old friend. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. What kind of an old friend looks like a dumb notebook? Shh, said May again. You shouldn't talk while the teacher is talking, Junie B. Jones. I looked at her real annoyed. B, I said. My name is Junie B. I think I've mentioned that to you before, May. I leaned closer to her face. B, 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 I said. After I slumped in my seat and I put my head on my desk, I picked at the other children who sit near me. Their names are Herb and Lenny and Jose. I do not know them from a hole in the ground. I did another sigh. First grade is not what it's cracked up to be. My room is named Room 1. I was nervous when I came here yesterday. That's how come Daddy had to carry me all the way to the room, because my legs felt like squishy jello. He put me down outside the door. Well, here we are, Junie B. First grade. At last, my stomach had flutterflies in it. Also, my arms had a prickly goosebump, and my forehead had drops of sweaty. I'm a wreck, I said. Daddy smiled. Very nice. There's nothing to worry about, Junie B. I promise. You're gonna love first grade. Just think. There's a whole room full of brand new friends just waiting to meet you. He ruffled my hair. Are you ready to go in now? Huh? Are you ready to begin your first grade adventure? I looked at him a real long time. Then I quick spun around and I zoomed down the hall as fast as I could. Then he zoomed after me. He caught up with me speedy quick and he carried me back to my class. Only this time he carried me straight into the room. As soon as he put me down again, I hid behind his legs. 'Cause that place was a zoo, I tell you. There were people everywhere. There were girls and boys, and mothers and daddies, and grandmas and grandpas. Plus also there were truly babies in in strollers. Then all of a sudden, my whole mouth came open because good news, I finally saw someone I knew. I jumped up and down and all around. Daddy, Daddy, it's Lucille. I holler. Remember Lucille? Lucille was my bestest friend from kindergarten last year. Lucille was standing at a desk next to the window. I ran to her in a jiffy. I hugged and hugged that girl, and I couldn't even stop. Lucille, Lucille, it's me, it's me. It's your bestest friend from kindergarten, Junie B. Jones. I tried to pick her up. I'm so glad to see you, friend. I shouted, real joyful. Lucille pulled my arms off her. Stop it, Junie B. Stop it. You're wrinkling my new back-to-school dress. The thing cost a fortune. I stopped hugging her. Lucille smoothed and fluffed herself. There, I said, good as new. After that, I grabbed Lucille's hand. I started to pull. Come on, Lucille, let's go find two desks together. I said, think we should sit near the door. Want to, huh? If we sit near the door, we can share the people who walk down the hall. Lucille yanked her hand away. No, Genevieve, no, I'm gonna sit at this desk right here. I already picked it out with my two new friends, Camille and Chanel. She pointed at the door. See them over there? She said. I met them before you came. They are saying goodbye to their mother. Aren't they precious? I looked at Camille and Chanel. Guess what? My eyes popped right out of my head. Because wowie wow, those girls were twins, that's why. I sprang way high in the air. Twins, twins, they're twin, Lucille. This is our lucky day. I pulled on her again. Come on, Lucille, let's go touch them. Hooray, hooray, before the line forms. Lucille did not budge a muscle. Stop it, Junie. Quit pulling on me, she said. Camille and Chanel don't want to be touched. And besides, I am their new best friend, not you. I looked surprised at that girl. Yes, but I can't be their bestest friend along with you, right, Lucille? I asked her, all I have to do is meet them, right? And then all of us can be bestest friends together. Lucille shook her head. No, Junie. I'm sorry, but you and I have already been best friends, remember? We were best friends for a whole long year, and so now it's time for Camille and Chanel to get a turn. She did a shrug. It's only fair of me, she said. Besides, the names rhyme with my name, and yours doesn't. She wrinkled her nose. Very cute. Camille and Chanel and Lucille, see? Isn't that darling? After that, Lucille gave me a pat. Don't be sad, okay? She said. You and I can still be friends, Junie, just not on a regular basis. After that, she waved her fingers. And she said, ta and she skipped to Camille and Chanel. Chapter 2, more surprises plus help. Mother and Daddy keep trying to cheer me up about first grade. Mother says sometimes life has disappointments in it. Daddy says sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I said first grade is a flop. Last year I had two bestest friends. First I had Lucille, plus also I had that Grace. Me and that Grace rode the school bus together every single day. Only too bad for us because this year Grace got put in a different room than me. And that was not even fair, but hooray, hooray, me and Grace still decided to ride the bus together. Because that's what friendship is for, I think. And so last week, both of us sat next to each other, just like we always did. Only what do you know? Monday morning, Grace got on the bus with a new girl from her class. And those two, they plopped down in the seat right in front of me. I quick jumped up and I tapped on Grace's head. Grace! Excuse me, Grace. What kind of shenanigans do you call this? Madame, didn't you see me sitting here? Grace waved at me real friendly. Yes, hi Junie. I'm sorry I can't sit with you today, but I promised Bobby Jean Piper I would sit with her this morning, okay? I stamped my foot. No, Grace, not okay. You can't sit with Bobby Jean Piper. You and I have to sit together every single day because we sat together every day last year. This year shall be no different. Just then, Mr. Wood, the bus driver, closed the bus door. He looked in his mirror at me. Sit down, please, Junie. Bobby Jean Piper pointed and grinned. You got yelled at, she said. She said kind of mean. I made a scared face at that girl. Grrr, Bobby Jean Piper. Beyond me, I heard a loud laugh. Squeak spun around. Guess what? It was Herb who sits in front of me in room 1. Herb, I said real surprised. I didn't even know that you rode this bus. Herb kept on laughing. You said grrr, grrr. That's a good one. I wrinkled my eyebrows at that boy. Yeah, only here's the problem. Herbert, I said, grrr is not actually a joking matter. Plus, I wasn't even talking to you. Herb quit laughing. I know, you aren't talking to me. No one on this bus ever talks to me. That's because last year I went to different school, so I don't have any bus friends yet. Just then the bus stopped at the next corner. Herb came around the seat, sat next to me. Maybe just for today, I can sit here. He said, just until you get your bus friend back. I tapped on my chin, barely thinking. Then all of a sudden, I raised my voice real loud. Why? Sure, you can sit here, Herbert. You can sit here forever if you want to, because I used to have a bus friend named Grace, but today I'm dropping her like a hot tomato. Bobby Jean Piper picked over the seat at me. You mean potato. I sprang up again. Bobby Jean Piper, where's the diaper? I hollered. Mr. Wu frowned in the mirror. Sit down, Junie, he grouched. I sat down. Then I did a big breath and I looked at Herb. Today's not off to a good start, I said, kind of quiet. Herb nodded. I hear you, he said. I slumped way down in my seat. My bestest friends are dropping like flies, I said. Herb nodded. Joined the club, he said. First grade is a flop, I said. Herb nodded. Totally, he said. I looked out the window. Grr, I said. Grr. I smiled to judge myself. I think I might like this Herb. Chapter 3. Stumped. Me and Herb walked to room 1 from the bus. He waved to Mr. Scary. Then I waved too. I'm not even scared of that teacher, hardly, I said to just myself. We kept on walking to our seat. May was already sitting at her desk. She was organizing her pencil box. Lenny was at his desk too. Only wait till you hear this. I didn't even recognize that guy almost. Because Lenny had a thrilling new haircut, that's why. It was pointish and spikish and stiffish and straightish. That hair can puncture you. I think, whoa, I said, cool. Jail. Shh. Just then Jose came hurrying down the road. He was rushing real fast because the bell was almost ready to ring. Hola, everyone, he said, out of breath. Hola, hola. Me and Herb and Lenny looked curious at him. Jose grinned. Whoops. Hola means hello in Spanish. I know 2 different languages. And sometimes I forget which one I'm speaking. Wow, Jose. I said, you really speak 2 languages? Cool, said Herb. Big deal, said May. I know Spanish too. I can and count all the way to 3 in Spanish. Does anyone want to hear me? The rest of us looked at each other. Not really, said Herb. Not me, said Lenny. Me neither, said Jose. May didn't pay attention to us. Uno, dos, tres, she said real loud. I leaned nearer to her. Shh, I said. Then everyone laughed and laughed, but not May. Pretty soon the bell rang for school. Mr. Scary got our morning started. First, he took attendance of the children, then we said, I pledge allegiance to the flag, plus also we listened to boarding bulletins from the office. Finally, Mr. Scary walked to the chalkboard and he printed a list of words. Boys and girls, he said, this morning, I have a fun assignment for you. He winked at us, pointed to the list. I want you to read these words to yourself. Then, without talking to your neighbors, choose any word from the list and draw a picture of it in your journal. May squealed, very thrilled. Oh, goody goody. I love this kind of assignments, Mr. Scary. I'm perfect and not talking to my neighbor. After that, she quick took a pencil out of a box. She started to draw. I stared at the words, then I tapped on my chin and I scratched my head because I didn't actually get this assignment, that's why. Hum. I glanced my eyes at Herb and Lenny and Jose. All of them were drawing too. I looked back at the board again. Then I stretched my neck as far as it could go. I squinted my hardest. But those words had me stumped, I tell you. Finally, I reached out to Herb real secret, and I tapped on his back. Psst, Herb, I whispered. Quick question, which word are you drawing? May did a loud gasp. She jumped up from her seat and pointed at me. Mr. Scary, Mr. Scary, Junie Jones is talking to a neighbor. See her, she's talking to Herbert, and that's against the rule. I turned my head. Blabber lips, I yelled. Blabber lips, May. Mr. Scary looked back at us. His muscle was not smiling. I did a gulp, then I quick opened my journal and started to draw. Chapter 4. Clocks. We drew and drew in our journal. Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done. He walked around the room and he looked at everyone's pictures. He gave out shiny gold star. First he gave stars to Camille and Chanel. What great looking dogs you drew, girls. Look at those floppy ears. Lucille raised her hand. Look at mine, teacher, she said. I drew a cat with pointy ears. See, my rich Nana has an expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a foot thick almost. Mr. Scary looked strange at her. Really, Lucille? A whole foot of fur? He said, my. He gave her a gold star and moved on. He went to a boy named Roger. Roger was in my same class last year. Excellent job, Roger, Mr. Scary said. You drew a man wearing a coat. The words man and coat were both on the board, weren't they? I did a little frown because none of these words are actually sounding familiar. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. A cool bat and ball, Sheldon, he said. And Shirley, you drew a bat and ball, too, didn't you? I put my hat on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to May. Oh, May, what a special clock you drew. The big hand has 5 fingers. That's very unusual. Yes, said May. I created it myself. Plus, clock was the hardest word up there. Wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I'm the only one who even knew the word clock, I bet. My stomach felt sickish inside. I quick closed my journal and stuffed it in my desk. Mr. Scary saw me. Junie B, don't you want to show me your drawing? Don't you want to go stuff for today? I shook my head real fast. Nope, no thank you. No, I don't. Not today. I really don't care for the gold star today. But thank you for asking. Mr. Scary kept on standing there. The end, I said. He did not budge. Please move along, I said. Mr. Scary bent down next to me. He lowered his voice so no one could hear. I'm sorry, Junie, but I really like to see what you drew. I need to make sure that you understand the assignment. And before I knew it, he took my journal out of my desk and he gave it to me to hold. After that, he walked me into the hall and he let me show him my drawing in private. And guess what? He liked it, I think. Oh, wow, look at that, Junie. You drew a wonderful picture of screaming chicken, I said finally. Mr. Skid did a strange face. Oh, yes, right, it's a screaming chicken, I said. I pointed at the chicken's mouth. See how it's screaming? Cluck, cluck, cluck. I used the capital letters for the cluck. Capital that was screaming, correct? Well, yes, I suppose so, said Mr. Scary. But the thing is, Junie, the word clock wasn't on the board yesterday. I know it. The word on the board was clock, only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess, because I accidentally thought it was clock. I tapped on my chin. What I actually wanted to draw was the butt and bill. I finally liked the sound of that one, but I didn't know how to get started. I went with the clock idea. Mr. Scary looked confused at me. The bud and bull? He asked, a smile kind of embarrassed. Yeah, I read those words wrong too, I guess. They turned out to be bat and ball. Mr. Scary frowned. What about the other words on the board, Junie? Do you remember how you read some of the other ones about dog and cat or coat and goat? I thought back, then I made my voice real quiet. Dog and cat and coot and youth? Mr. Scary nodded his head, then he patted my hand, very nice, and he gave me back my journal, and we walked back into room 1. The end.